Alright, I figured we'd do a quick rundown of the McLaren. So we've got the P1 here, McLaren's 2012 hypercar. Makes a little under 1,000 horsepower, just a crazy thing. They go for about $2 million now. Right next to that we have the 720S, which for a sixth of the price basically is fast. It loses out a little bit on the top end, but 720S is just an amazing car. The aero on this thing and the way the headlights look is just spaceship level. P1 looks amazing still too, but the 720S, for the money, you can't beat it. Probably the best overall supercar out right now. Next up we get the 570S Spider, the Sport Series car from McLaren. Very good entry level car for about $200,000. I compare it to like a Huracan or a GT3 RS. Next to that we have another 720. This one's just in an amazing spec. You get the all white interior, the nice purple pinkish exterior, great look. Got the pinstripe matching the paint on the wheel as well. And then here we have the new 600 LT, and they just released the Spider yesterday. Gorgeous looking car. The aggressive front splitter is just a great addition, and the nice wing in the back. It's hard to tell from here, but I'll go around after. And then of course we come to McLaren's newest track weapon hypercar, MCLAREN Senna. Absolutely amazing spec. Look at the wheels. Got the nice red center locks to match and the red brakes, and this car has, I'm pretty sure, every carbon fiber option ticked. I don't believe it has the side window. It's hard to tell. It doesn't look like it. I think it's just a black panel. You can see the door handles under there, but just an absolutely amazing specification on the car. This one came through McLaren Boston. Just a great look. One other thing to notice is that roof scoop. It must sound absolutely great when you're driving the car around. Look how massive this wing is. The number 12 plate. You can see the carbon fiber on the wheel well inside the car. Looks absolutely great. The back end in this diffuser is just so low to the ground. It's just an amazing next level car for the roads. You can see the side vents too and the blades and how the air comes around and gets funneled out here, and all the excessive venting for cooling. And then of course the US cars come with the 2-spoke exhaust instead of the triangle one that they get overseas. Okay, now we're around the back of the 600 LT. You can see the exhaust ports right there where they come out right in front of the wing. There's a special coating on the wing to stop it from melting from the flames. I'm sure you guys have seen videos online of those doing all kinds of crazy things. And look just how aggressive that rear diffuser is on the car. Absolutely crazy. It's all carbon fiber on this one too. Very nice spec. Hard to tell, but that rear diffuser is maybe 1.5 inches off the ground on the back of the P1. Race mode is just such a next level thing. Probably not good for driving it on the road. You probably scrape it up, but it looks amazing. Alright guys, so from all the McLarens, which one are you going to take? It's a tough choice. I think either the P1 or the Senna for sure. Not for driving every day. If you're going to drive every day, it's probably one of these here in the middle, but yeah, let me know what you think. Okay, so this is a DB11 AMR, the more hardcore version of the DB11. The spec on this one's absolutely great. It's black with a nice red and black interior. It's right up my alley. Got the red matching brakes too. And then right next to that, the new DBS Superleggera, the new flagship car from Aston Martin. And then also the entry-level Vantage right over there. So what do you guys pick out of these three? DBS, DB11 AMR, or the Vantage? Let me know. Aston Martin Vantage, white with red interior on this one. It's a nice spec. This is the entry-level Aston Martin car, and it comes with about 503 horsepower stock, I believe. You can get a lease on one of these for under $2,000 a month, so it's not a terribly expensive price for a car with an Aston Martin name on it. So if you are interested in getting one of these, leases are cheaper than ever on them. Look how sick the color is on this GT3. Absolutely stunning. Racing simulator right here. I'm sure that'll be going when the show's open to the public. And then we come to the Rolls-Royce SUV, the Cullinan. Look at that Spirit of Ecstasy. It's hard to tell, but this Cullinan is navy blue, and the interior is white with light blue stitching and then navy blue leather on the dashboard and the steering wheel. We have a black badge Wraith right next to it. Lamborghini Urus here, courtesy of Lamborghini Boston. They also have an Aventador Roadster and a Huracan, but they're still covered up. If you guys had to pick one, you take the Cullinan or the Urus. Personally, I'm still kind of torn. The interior is very nice in the Urus, but it kind of has that funny looking slope to the roofline. Of course, the Rolls-Royce interior is next level. I mean, it's the Rolls-Royce interior you expect. It is kind of funny looking though. I think for me, I take the Urus. This is actually a V8 Bentayga. These just started getting into the United States about a month or two ago. About 30 grand cheaper than the W12 option. This one's nice green with tan interior. Taking the new Continental GT or a Rolls-Royce Wraith, like the red one down the end there? I would say probably it depends on the spec of the cars, because this one's not the best in the Bentley. What's it gonna be, Urus or Cullinan? Let me know in the comments down below. Now you can get the R8 Spyders in both the V10 Plus configuration and the V10 configuration, and you no longer have to get the pillar in chrome. They used to make you get a silver chrome pillar, and it just really didn't make the Spyders look very good, but now that you can get it in black, it contrasts well with the rest of the car. Looks great with the back. Look at this carbon fiber side blade. Nissan GTR, check out those knocker ducts. Very nice. I am not a fan of the new Camaro front end. Those lights, it's hard to tell because they're kind of glaring on the lens, but they just look awful. If these lights got any closer together, they would be touching each other. They're literally about a foot apart. It's hard to tell on the camera, but in person it looks a little funny. New designs always do though, so we'll see how it looks in a couple years. Jump inside the 2019 Camaro with the redesign. Nice ambient lighting on the doors. Manual option here. Get the rev match on the paddles, the feature that you can get on Chevys. A little bit improved visibility, I would say, but still not the best, especially compared to the Mustang. You definitely have more visibility. It kind of feels like you're driving a hoodie when you drive one of these cars, but here's the Chevy High Country. I drove one of these a couple months ago. They drive nice, definitely do, but the F-150s drove a little bit better, I would say, and they were more comfortable. The V8 sounds pretty good in here, but it's nothing crazy, and it's not significantly better than the V6 you're getting in the F-150 Platinum or Limited. So nice truck overall, though. It has a heads-up display. I like that. Gonna jump in the Vet here. Nice carbon fiber trim on the steering wheel. Alcantara, yellow paddles, that's nice. Yeah, the Corvettes are nice. I've never been a huge fan of the Camaro, but the Corvette's always been a little bit more appealing. This one's, I really like this trim. Look at that, you've got heated and ventilated seats in the Corvette. That's a nice feature. You can keep yourself nice and cool driving around your sports car. Nice color on this one too. It's like a chalk gray almost. It's not quite white. Here's a Trail Boss, kind of a cheap attempt at taking some sales from the Raptor, but I don't think they're doing that because it is nowhere near the same level. Nice trim though, not a bad interior, but still not on the level of the F-150. Here's a Yukon Denali, the nicer setup on GMC's big SUV, not the extended version, but the normal one. Not a bad car. My only complaint with GMC and Chevy products is they look exactly the same. They just changed the badging on them, so the leather's a little nicer in the GMCs versus the Chevys. If that's worth the upgrade, do you do it? But honestly, GMC and Chevy are kind of at the bottom of my list when it comes to nice cars. Here's GMC's new 6-function tailgate. You can open it in half, or you can put it back up and open it all the way. I believe that's what this button does. Yep. Interesting feature. It's about the only thing they changed on this, to be honest. The interior and everything else about the car looks exactly the same as the previous generation, so I wouldn't say it's worth the upgrade if you have a current gen one. We've got a 2019 Audi RS5 Sportback in Sonoma green. This color's crazy. It's a very acquired taste, but if you like it, you'll be all over this car. Interior is absolutely gorgeous. steering wheel feels good. Lots of carbon fiber in this car. Now you can get the R8 Spyders in both the V10 Plus configuration and the V10 configuration. And you no longer have to get the pillar in chrome. They used to make you get a silver chrome pillar, and it just really didn't make the Spyders look very good. But now that you can get it in black, it contrasts well with the rest of the car. Looks great with the back. Look at this carbon fiber side blade. Got the brand new Audi Q8. Top of the line SUV from Audi. Very futuristic looking dash is the first impressions when you get in the car. This is the all new Audi e-tron SUV. Fully electric vehicle. Audi S-Line Sport Pack still make the car very nice. This is just an A5 with the S-Line package. It's nothing like the RS5 over there, but it's still a pretty nice pack. Got an awesome color on this Tacoma here. Let's jump inside. So this is the limited package with the leather seats. Compared to the new Ranger, there's just no competition. This thing's so much better. The new Ranger is honestly very disappointing. You can't go wrong with the Tacoma. In my opinion, it's better than the Colorado and the Canyon as well. Best car in the class. One of my favorite trucks is 1794 edition Tundra. These things are just so sick. When you're sitting in here, you just feel like you belong, you know, above everybody. This car is just sweet. Look how much room's in the back too. Just a massive car, awesome trim. The leather on the dash is very nice. They haven't really changed the Tundra much in quite some time now. I'm sure a redesign is probably due in the next year or two, but just a great car, great truck. It's gonna run forever. Looks awesome, plenty of room, a lot of luxury in here. And check this out, we're in the back of the Tundra now. A ton of legroom. I'm about 6 feet tall. Look at the whole window goes down to the back of the Tundra. It's the sweetest feature. Nice big bed back there too. Got the Beetle convertible right here. This is something to whip around in. They are discontinuing the Beetle after this year, but it'll be back in a fully electric variant from what I hear in 2021, I believe. And then here we have a normal Golf GTI with the plaid seats. Guys, for under 30 grand, this is a pretty good car for the money if you're looking to purchase something brand new. Manual on this one. Guys, check this out. It's a Volkswagen e-Golf. I actually didn't know this car was going to be out already. It's a fully electric Golf. Interior is just like a normal one. But yeah, just fully electric. That's interesting. The electric cars are coming out quicker than we think. We have an LS 500 F Sport. First year of the new redesign on Lexus's flagship sedan. Here we have a Lexus LC 500, one of the cars that kind of launched their new design language a couple years back. Supercar-like door handles. The interior, kind of debatable. It depends how you feel about it. Personally, I like the big paddles and the look of the steering wheel. I don't really love that the drive mode selector is up here. It makes it look kind of funny. Other than that though, it's a nice cabin to be in overall. This spec's interesting. Red on tan, but everybody has their own likes. Here we have Infinity's flagship SUV, the QX80. Very nice car. Again, feels a little old, just like the Q70. It definitely needs a refresh soon. But these things are just tanks. This is the limited trim. You can see you have the two-tone seats, very nice. Nice back seat, captain's chair setup. Nice car overall. We're gonna jump inside the Q70L real quick. First thoughts right when I get in, this car's in dire need of a refresh. It just feels old as soon as you sit in it compared to the competition. Still a nice car though, but definitely outdated. Here we have an Infiniti Q60S in the color the car launched in, red. Here we have a 2019 Q50S Red Sport 400. They've added new paddles for the 2019 model year, as well as this quilting on the seats. This particular car is in a nice blue color. Genesis is a very interesting brand. They make a lot of value in the car for the money you pay for it. If you were to put a BMW or Mercedes badge on there, you're honestly getting a better car overall, I might say, but some people can't live without the brand. Spent a little more time in the G70, and I gotta say this feels very Audi in the middle here, which makes sense because the designers from Audi and BMW came over to help design this car, as well as the Kia Stinger, and it definitely shows. This is very Audi-esque. Inside of a Genesis G80 Sport here. It's a nice car. Definitely worth getting the sport trim if you're gonna pick one of these up. For another car that for the money you're getting insane value compared to the competition. Look at all the carbon fiber you get in this car. That's more than some sports cars from other manufacturers, and it's just, this is in a luxury sedan that happens to be sporty, so that's awesome. Here's a lovely Stinger GT2 in their ceramic silver color. They do so well. Looks very good. This one is basically as high as you can spec one of these. I've actually spent some time with one of these that it's spec'd just like this one. The nice red interior. For the money with this car, you really can't complain. The cars it's compared to, it's way more affordable than those, and it honestly performs better. These have a heads-up display, heated and cooled seats, a heated steering wheel, nice steering wheel in general. You get the paddles, a nice big sunroof, awesome looking seats. It's just, they're great value for the money, and it's a good package overall. Also, personally, I feel like they should just have the Stinger badge on these cars. It's an option not to have the Kia badge. I think having just the Stinger badge would really set it apart. One more thing, we gotta check out the Brembo brakes this car comes with. Very nice. The wheels look pretty good too. I would like to see a fully digital dash on here, however, in the future, because it's gonna fall a little bit behind the competition if it doesn't. Here's a Mazda CX-9. I believe this is their biggest SUV. Let's check out the inside. Honestly, first impressions when you get in, it's a pretty nice SUV. For Mazda, who you probably think of the Miata when you think of Mazda, they make a pretty decent SUV. There's a CX-5 in front of us, a little smaller than this one. Nice though. Check it out, this thing has a sport mode. You don't think of jumping in your Mazda CX-9 and putting it in sport. You probably think of jumping in a Lamborghini Urus and doing that, but it's a nice little package here for the money. We have a Lincoln Navigator here. I don't believe this one in particular is a black label, but it's still very nice. Got the automatic running boards. Oh, the seats in this car are very comfortable. They may not be the most reliable. I always worry about how these are going to hold up, being all split up from each other, but overall these are very nice. If you're going to buy a full-size SUV like an Escalade or something like that, I think this is the way to go with the Navigator. The leather on the door feels very nice, very quality to the touch. In the seats as well, and you have individually adjustable legs right here. You can see it better on this seat. It's split right down the middle. Nice big sunroof too that goes all the way back to the second row. Jumping in the Lincoln Continental here. Nice sedan. Very similar to the Navigator seats, pretty much the exact same. You get the split legs, the seats in a couple of different parts here. These are nice. Unfortunately for Lincoln, not a lot of people have been buying these. Mostly limo companies are the only people that have really bought them. But they're nice. They're good for the money and everything. They're a little pricey, but they're building a Heritage Edition this year with suicide doors on the back, like a Rolls Royce. So I'm making 80 of them, and they're gonna be about 100 grand, I think. So they're a little pricey, but that'd be a cool way to make these stand out a little bit. You get the buttons on the door again, similar to some other Lincoln and Ford products. Continental, the door handles are kind of part of the door. They stick out. Very nice look. The wheels are nice looking too. Raptors are just the best looking trucks on the market. Okay guys, I'm in the new Ford Ranger here. Gotta tell you, I love Ford and F-150s and specifically Raptors, but the Ranger is honestly one of the biggest disappointments I've ever seen. If this thing came out 4 years ago, this would be acceptable, but for today's standards, it just feels cheap and it looks cheap and it looks like a parts bin car. The size of the bed itself's not too bad on the new Ford Ranger, but this one doesn't even have a soft closing tailgate, which I'm pretty sure every other model in the class has at this point. So inside a Mustang here, unfortunately they don't have the new GT500, which was just revealed 2 days ago, but the rest of the Mustang has pretty much stayed the same for the 2019 model year. Inside of an F-150 Platinum here, these things are very nice. 2019 they introduced a new trim. It's like above the Platinum, they call it the Limited, but it's basically the same thing with like a two-tone interior, and then they put the Raptor engine in it. That car's awesome. I drove one a couple months ago. Inside an Expedition, these things are sweet. I also drove one of these a little while ago. It's a huge car, but it really doesn't feel that intimidating when you're driving it. If you're used to bigger cars, it's nothing, and it moves for the engine it has. You wouldn't think it, but it feels very like you have enough power to go wherever you want to go. Nice big sunroof too, goes all the way in the back. This car is just huge. If you need a big car like this, you don't want to spend the money for the Navigator, this one is still probably the best option. On Ford products are always neat. You can pull it like that instead of a traditional handle. Very nice. Got an Alfa Romeo Giulia here. Unfortunately, this one is not the Quadrifoglio, but we still have these nice and ridiculously oversized paddles, which just look great and make these cars a lot of fun to drive. Here we have an Alfa Romeo Stelvio. Again, this one is not a Quadrifoglio, and this one in particular, in my opinion, is kind of an awful spec. We have this bronzish gold color with the tan interior. It just does not work very well, and it doesn't have the big paddles on the steering wheel, so this car is just not a good spec overall. This literally looks like they just took a Wrangler and stuck a bed on the back of it and extended it a little bit. I'm sure it drives crappy just like that one, and you get the same interior pretty much. Rubicon spec. Alright guys, here we have a Jeep Trackhawk. These things are absolute monsters. 700 horsepower engine from the Hellcat put into a Jeep. Pretty amazing. It's a step above the SRT trim. Very similar interior, just with the updated bolstering on the seats and the Trackhawk badge in the steering wheel. But these must be insane to drive. And there's the launch control button in an SUV. That's awesome. Here we have the new Durango SRT. This thing looks absolutely menacing with the hood scoop. It just looks great. If you've never driven a Jeep SRT, they're a blast, and I'm sure this Durango SRT lives up to that same notion. This one's actually spec'd very nice. It's got the all red leather seats. You don't see that a lot in SRT cars. Steering wheel straight out of the Jeep one. Inside an Acura RLX, I've never actually been in one of these cars before, but I gotta tell you, it's very nice for what it was. I wasn't expecting it to be this high quality.